Hey everyone, Sean from Buckeye Wedding Expo. We are here today with Sarah from the Campbell Creative on tips on choosing live artists at your wedding. Hi Sarah, thanks so much for joining us today.
Hi, I'm glad to be here.
Well, we have a great topic today, and it's something that I love because it's not your normal like 4 or 5 wedding vendors. This is something very unique, and I love the trend, a live artist at your wedding. So, first, let us know a little bit more about the Campbell Creative and what you do at a wedding.
Yeah, so I am a live wedding painter. I work exclusively in watercolor. So I will come to your wedding about 2 hours before the ceremony, usually, and I will sketch any and paint any moment that you choose from your wedding day. Oftentimes it's the ceremony, but it can be anything that you choose. Um, and then I paint throughout the evening for a total of 6 hours. And the painting will be almost done by the end of the night, but I do still take home every painting to add finishing touches before I deliver it to the couple.
Awesome. So, a couple questions about that because, again, this is a unique service. Is there something that you do? Is there like a delivery time? Like is like a photographer where it takes like 4 to 6 weeks, or how does that look as far as when you actually get the painting? And does it come in like a frame, or do you have to frame it yourself? What does that all look like?
Great questions. So my lead time for finishing it after the wedding is 4 to 6 weeks, although it could be done sooner. If I'm mailing it, it comes rolled in a tube actually to keep it safe during shipping. But if you're local, I work with a local frame shop and I'll deliver it straight to the framer, and you can come and pick out whatever frame that you would like for your painting.
That's great. And actually, an added touch to be able to customize the frame.
Yeah.
That's awesome. When you're there, sorry, I have so many questions. When you're there, do you need like a corner? Do you have to be like front and center? If you're at a ceremony, do you stay at the ceremony? Because some ceremonies are kind of outside and on the property, but someplace else. What does that look like as far as when you're actually at the event?
Yeah. So when I'm at the event, I will have my easel set up. And if it's a ceremony, I will set up and stand at my easel behind the guests or tucked away at the side, so that I'm able to take my reference photos during the ceremony. And then I'll move to the reception spot, and I don't need a ton of space, enough for my easel. And I sit at my easel during the reception. Oftentimes I'm set up kind of by the line for the bar so that when they come to grab a drink, they can take a look at the painting, that sort of thing.
So they can see like the process. I assume, like as you continue to get drunk, you can, you can see how the portrait unfolds, and people can come up and like watch you and things like that. So that's kind of an engagement tool for the guests, also, right?
Absolutely, yes. It's entertainment for the guests as well as this priceless memento from your wedding.
Now, when it comes to the things that you can paint, you had mentioned painting the ceremony, but it doesn't necessarily have to be like an exact replication of what is there, right? You can add different things in if you wanted to, as the client.
Yeah, absolutely. I have people like add it, asking for special requests to either to add something to the painting. If it might be like an empty chair to commemorate a past loved one. Or I have a lot of people that want their dogs in their painting
Mhm.
because they might not be able to make it to the wedding, anything like that. It also doesn't have to be a painting of the ceremony. While a lot of my paintings are, I will also paint like the couple just standing outside of the venue. And my reference photo doesn't have to actually be that moment. I can take a reference photo of the couple and kind of impose it onto what I see at the venue. I also will paint a first dance. Um, Now, with first dances, I also usually take a reference photo or video of them, of the couple practicing their first dance ahead of time, so that I'm able to get it into the painting and get that painting to an almost completed point by the end of the night.
So with all of that, with all those options out there, how do you decide? Is that something that you work with the client ahead of time? Do you sit down and have like a vision of how things are going to go, or how do you go from we're hiring you to this is the final outcome?
Yeah. So when a couple inquires, I have a place for them to kind of split the picture.
I think we have maybe lost your audio. I'm
Oh
sorry. Oh,
no.
wait, you just came back.
Okay.
Answer that question again. Everything you just said, say it again.
Okay.
It's
What was
got
what
to
was
say the exact same way because we're going to put it on your mouth as you move. Just go ahead and tell us, just in a nutshell, how do you go from the creative process to the end product?
Right. Okay. So in my inquiry form, there's a spot for the couple to say what their vision is for their painting if you have an idea ahead of time. And from there, I'll have a conversation either over email or over the phone to continue to talk about what they want in the painting. Um, and then I will take that. And once I'm at the wedding, I make a lot of decisions kind of intuitively once I see what the venue looks like, what the how the couple interacts and like what pieces I can pull into the painting. So while I'm always including the things that the couple like want in their painting, a lot of choices are made like during the event.
Well, that's a lot of pressure on choosing your artist then if they have all of that creativity. So can you give us any tips on how to choose an artist, or when it comes to having a live artist, what are the things that you should be looking for?
Yeah. So as it comes with artists, like everyone has their own style. So definitely look up your artist online and look at their body of work. Their medium makes a big impact on the style. So I work in watercolor, but a lot of live painters work in acrylic or oil, and each of those kind of brings a different feel to the paintings. So definitely like look them up online on their social media, get a feel for their style. There's not a ton of live painters, so you can absolutely hire a painter that to travel to come to you if you find one that you love that's a little farther away. And if you're having trouble finding a painter, you can always ask for referrals. We kind of like know each other and can point you in the right direction.
That also would be beneficial. I assume you book up quickly, so you probably want to get your painter early since there is a limited number, obviously.
Yeah,
Um, Also, that's not all you do, right? There's other services you provide. Can you tell us more about the other services you provide? And then maybe even get into some of the things you're going to be doing at the Buckeye Wedding Expo.
yeah. So, in addition to live wedding painting, I also offer live guest portraits. So, I'll come to the wedding and paint your guests. There, we'll take a reference photo with our phone. And then while I'm there, I'll paint a little 5x7 watercolor portrait of the guests, and they get a ticket with them, as a lot of people do it as like their favor. And while I am at the Wedding Expo, you guys will have an opportunity to be the guest and have your guest portrait painted.
Awesome. And they get to take that home and frame that, a little memento. Very different than a photo booth, I would say. A lot more love in that
Yeah.
than a photo booth.
A little bit more time.
A little bit more time. Okay, so we've had a lot of great tips about choosing your artist, thinking outside the box whenever you are deciding on how your portrait's going to be, trusting the artist, things like that. I'm going to ask you now to wrap it all in a bow and share some tips on having a live artist for your wedding with all of our guests.
Okay. All right. So the first tip is to choose an artist who you love. Every artist style is a little different from each other. So take the time to look at their collection of work and choose an artist who you connect with their style. You deserve to love your painting forever. So a bonus tip with this one is to reach out to your artist as soon as possible because we all have limited availability. Um, Tip number two is to think outside the box when you imagine the vision of your painting. I have couples that will request their dogs to be included in their painting, even if they can't be there at the wedding, or to add something special to commemorate a family member who's passed. Um, or I can add elements of the venue into the painting that might not be able to be seen from the ceremony spot. Um, and the last tip is super easy once you've done one and two, and that is to trust your artist. The most elevated works and interesting compositions that I've made are the ones from the couples that gave me more creative freedom in the painting. So I'll always include the things that you want in the painting. Trusting your artist is really important to create a really beautiful piece. So that's it. I'm really excited to see you all at the expo. Come see me and get your guest portrait.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing all this. I, again, love that it's a unique thing that combines everything. You know, it's guest involvement, guest engagement. You get to keep something afterwards. It's personal. There's just so many things that make this a wonderful addition for your wedding. Sarah, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.